it's the Ranny Duck and welcome back for another video. And today we've got two replays to show you in the Tier 10 Japanese Tech Tree medium tank, the STB-1, where we are on Thiepval Ridge, and it's the assault variant where we've got one enemy artillery to contend with and one enemy light tank. If you want to see the crew and equipment setup I'm choosing to run, you can see that at the bottom of the screen as I speak. But initially we are attacking on assault, and I'm going to try and play an aggressive position early, take the middle of the map to try and spot any targets which push aggressively down the 1-2 line, and hopefully I'll get some assistance from my covering teammates on my hill with a bit of luck. We do get spotted pretty early. Now, one thing to know about the STB-1, since the last sort of balance change, they basically changed the tank. So they changed it so it now has the siege mode, essentially. The automatic siege mode is basically instant. You've got an on and off switch on the left on the D-pad, but you can just immediately change between it, and then essentially you can activate 14 degrees of gun depression with a flick of the switch. It makes it a lot more enjoyable to actually play this tank. And when you activate that, you get locked down, so you can only go to a maximum of 40 kilometers an hour, but you get that increased gun depression, so you can go all the way up to 14 degrees, as well as the fact that you get a little bit improved gun handling in that mode as well. So it's a tank which I hadn't played a lot, and I sort of just thought, I was a bit bored, I didn't know what tanks to play one day, and I thought, I don't think I've taken this tank out of the garage for about 4 years. So I took it out of the garage and played a few games, and I must admit I quite enjoyed it. So we can see we can get to this ridge here, we can activate, we're in the siege mode at the moment, where we've got that increased sort of gun depression which allows us to hit these more shots, and we're just trying to keep these targets spotted here, because we should be able to pick up some assistance. We need to focus out the IS-7 on the left while we can. We actually managed to do so without even getting detected as well, and because we're maximising our gun depression, we're not showing a lot of our tank, and we've got basically free farm there. We do get detected by the medium tank in front of us, but I'm going to just continue to do what I'm doing, kill the IS-7, and then we can turn our attention with the other tanks. Finally, we do pick up a bit of assistance, getting our sort of 900 assistance there. IS-7 is, I think he's given up maybe, because he's just going to full send in the open, which is going to allow me to just to farm him here. Should be able to get another shot through the engine deck. We do confirming our first kill of the game. But it's still a pretty close game at the moment, pretty even, 13 versus 13. I do need to contest, once I kill this medium, because once I have killed him, I might be able to push forward and then potentially kill the tanks which are in their base area near the cap circle, because that's probably where, almost certainly, the enemy fun police, enemy artillery is going to be. So I would like to try and get over there to deal with that tank if I can. Squeeze one into the enemy medium as he's leaving, puts us on to 3,300 damage. So far we have managed to keep all of our hit points, but our tanks who have pushed down the 1-2 line, it doesn't really look like they're faring up too well, and as you can see, they're starting to lose in that area, and we're starting to actually, it's a close game. We're a couple of tanks down, hit points are still pretty even though, but it is getting quite close. I do need to just hurry up and try and kill these tanks. Finally, my teammates have come off of the hill and come to join us, which is going to give us the support we need to actually try to push forward. I couldn't really do that until I had the support. I'm going to try and come around now and see if we can take the wide angle to see if we can kill the tanks at sort of a H3 area. Artillery actually blind fires us there, almost hits us. That wouldn't have been fun. But we do need to kill these tanks fast, because essentially the majority of the other tanks are at the sort of last known location as the B1, 2, 3 area. If I can win this area quickly, I can push into sort of the E1, 2, and then I can get underneath the ridge to spot all those tanks. There's a lot of hit points still left remaining. I'm on sort of 3,500. With over half the hit points left in the enemy team. I'm thinking, well, I've got potential to have a good game here. Still got all my hit points. We've done the hard part of winning this side, and now it comes to sort of the easier part to try and get the rest of the damage. Now we've got a bit more space to manoeuvre essentially. So we're going to push across this ridge. I'm fully expecting to spot the enemy artillery here. I don't think he would have pushed to A12. I think he would have stayed in his spawn, because that's pretty much what most of the artilleries do, and it would make sense on this variant. So we do see the artillery tracer. That is on our left. That means the artillery is in K1, but we don't really have shots at the artillery while we've got these tanks in front of us. We need to try and focus these out if we can. We are picking up a tiny bit more assistance because these are our spots. But I'm also getting targeted as well. Our friendly Chisel is actually going to push in quite aggressively here. I'm actually going to come with him and just try and help him kill this artillery fast, so that we can, start getting on with this game. Put a shot into him. Our Chisel puts one into him as well. I think the artillery has fired. That should allow us to get another shot in. We go for the drive wall so we can't escape there, and we pick up a bit more assistance for it. Artillery gets taken down, but we're now getting full sent by the Centurion, but he is running into a lot of trouble, and we should be able to pick up some damage. Suddenly I'm on 5,000 damage and still 8 tanks remaining, and all that's going through my mind at the moment is, please, friendly team, do not cap out, because if we cap out, there's so much damage left. I've got 5,000 damage already, and there's a lot of tanks in front of me. We get a lovely shot onto this object for 16 here. Hopefully we can finish him off, but he actually just gets behind cover before we can connect that shell. I'm going to continue to push forward because 2 of my tanks are now in the cap, which means I've only got 30 seconds left to play this game, which is a shame because I think, I'm on 5,600 damage now. I'm pretty sure we don't cap out. I'll probably get at least sort of 7,000, to be honest with you. There's enough tanks in front of us to get that damage, but it's not going to be possible because my team are just going to go for the cap. We do get a shot into the mill. Like I say, I have farm on this mill here. I can also kill this tank in front of me, this Conway, even if I eat one. I actually bounce it off of him. But 5 seconds left on the clock. I'm on 6,500 damage. But unfortunately, we cap out. And I think that game would probably win 6, 7 easily, maybe 8, could have even been more. But it was just denied by the cap circle, unfortunately. But we still have a good game. 2 kills, 6,500 damage, get the high caliber, 2,500 assistance, 1,500 assistance, and we get the win. But let's move on to replay number 2. Okay, so here we are for replay number 2. This time we are on Swamp. It is a standard battle. There is 2 enemy artillery, 2 enemy fun police to contend with this game, but there's actually no enemy light tank in the game. So initially I've decided that, right, I'm going to push the sort of F7 area, try and spot any of the targets which try and cross towards the hill on the right hand side, and try and get some early damage in, maybe some early assistance if we are lucky. With there being no enemy artillery in the game, it is going to put us into, because there's no enemy light tank in the game, it's going to put us in a good position to spot him for our team, and hopefully without getting detected as well. We do spot 1 target in their base. We're just going to try and push forward now and try and spot anything which may cross, and if they do, we can get side shots into them, and again, like I say, might be able to get some assistance. But we're not spotting anything so far, but we did get here fairly quickly. Finally, we do spot an enemy heavy tank crossing, get a lovely shot into him that actually damages ammo rack with our first shell. We might get a window of opportunity to put a second shell in before he gets into hard cover for us. He is now into hard cover, but at least we've got those 2 shells in, putting us on the board, putting us into a good starting position. If he continues to push up to the ridge, we might be able to get some more shots into him. But another heavy actually gets spotted. We get 1 shell into this tank. Again, we may get an opportunity for a second one in. No, he just gets into cover. But we're keeping an eye on that medium tank on the right in case he pokes. And then we spot an enemy E4 crossing. And this time we should get 2 shots into him at least. The E4 is a little bit slower. And we should have that little opportunity before he gets into cover. So we get at least 2 in. Maybe get the opportunity for the third. If we're lucky, we do get 3 in, put us into 2,400 damage before he goes undetected there. So we're off to a great start, really. We're also, it looks like there was 1 tank which was in the middle of the map at sort of G4. Keeping an eye on that tank. I'm also keeping an eye on the tanks at the top, because if he's cross, I can get more shots into them. We get a lovely shot into that heavy. We haven't been detected so far, and we're off to 3,000 damage before we've been spotted. So that's put us in a good stead for to have a good game here. So far, no tanks have been destroyed though, and the hit point pool is still pretty even actually. So some of our team have been bleeding somewhere else. We're going to try and wait. Our friendly medium heavy tank over there, we can't really cover him unfortunately, unless he comes back and takes those heavy tanks out of that equation, so they have to push round on him. Then we might be able to get the shots in. But we're also thinking there's an enemy E4 which is going to be difficult for me to detect if he's in the top ground. So we're going to just give up this area here. and try and kill this enemy Barras, which is in the middle ground, because we need to destroy this tank, otherwise we will be getting detected. We will have an awkward time. We might eat a shot off the E4, who we know is behind us somewhere. We do put a shot into him. I think actually a tank potentially shoots me from behind here, which is not great. We do lose our spot though. We're waiting for that opportunity to shoot that enemy Barras. If that enemy Barras pokes again, we should be able to finish him. But I can't stay where I am, because I'm going to eat shots off of where we're getting pinged at the sort of B9 area. So I'm just going to move so that enemy E4 doesn't have a shot at me anymore. And then I can hopefully be a little bit safer. Barras does put 2 shots into us, but he loses his tank for it. So we're in a good position, to not get detected now. We've not got that sort of little vermin running around. So we're going to push forward a little bit further now and try and spot any of these targets. There's the E4 at the top. Actually gets shut down by our friendly Tiger 2, which is nice. We don't have to worry about that E4. But I think the majority of the damage is on the other side, and I want to try and push up this ridge to spot, because we do have tanks covering us, and we might be able to get some assistance if we're lucky. We get underneath this ridge where we can use our good gun depression to our advantage here. So we do spot 2 targets. We're pulling back slightly in case they decide that they're going to full send us. Sometimes that happens, but we have actually turned this game around. We've taken a lead with tanks up, but hit points are still close. We have rear shots onto this enemy Leopard PTA there, and the Leopard gets shut down. We pick up a little bit more track assistance, putting us onto 4,000 raw damage and 900 assistance. And we're just going to try and stay underneath this ridge where we can maximise the strength of the tank, the gun depression, making it so it's awkward for them to have shots into us. And if they want to shoot us, they're going to have to over peak. Unfortunately, this E6 has full sent me. He's had enough. He's just going to come in without, he doesn't really care about the consequences. He's probably going to get shot by our friendly teams here. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. We do bounce a shot, and then finally our team take him out there. I think that the E6 was always going to die. He might have killed us, but he was always going to die there because there were so many tanks covering him. But he sort of just went in for the full suicide mission there. Thankfully, it worked in our favour, and we didn't get taken out. We got some more assistance, put us under 5,000 damage now and 2,000 assistance with the 6 tanks remaining. We've got this enemy medium tank which is holding us from crossing up towards the top to see if we can spot the enemy artillery. We do put a shot into him though, put us under 5,500 damage. We've still got about 800 assistance left, so we can eat a shot off of most of the targets, apart from probably the tank destroyer. Going to try and see if we can get any shots in. Unfortunately, there's an E5 there. I was not expecting a full health E5 to be in that position. He does put 1 into us, and now we are 1 shot to pretty much all of the targets remaining, which is certainly going to make our life difficult. We have swapped to our premium rounds because we're going to need it to deal with the E5's Cupola, but we can't push him. The best I can do is just slowly push forward to try and spot him and hope that my team shoot him if he pushes us. But yeah, he will kill us there. We are a definite 1 shot to him. There's not really much point moving either. I basically just got to wait now for the help of my team. I want mercy from my team. This E5 is trapped, so if he tries to leave, then I can push and put a shot into him. He actually does try and push forward there, so I was looking to push and shoot him, but I was also concerned there was still a medium on my right, but I don't think that's the case. And E5's ignoring us and trying to shoot the other targets, so he do put 1 into his side of his turret there. He turns to fight us, but now he's got multiple angles to deal with, and we're able to get these shots in whilst he's having a difficult time because he's getting shot by the artillery and also getting medium tanks behind him. And we're able to pick up the kill, put us on to 7,000 damage now with 2,000 assistance. Only 2 tanks remaining, but they've got 9% hit points, so one of these targets must be fairly healthy, I'd like to think. I'd like to try and get another couple of shots in if I can, just to bring this a good game to try and get closer to the 8,000 damage mark with the 2,000 assistance, so we can get closer to that 10k combined. Our friendly Death Star's moving in, so we have a few hit points to come with us now. Like I say, I'm a 1 shot to everything. It seems unlikely we're going to lose this game, but I do want to try and get as much damage out of it as possible. We get a lovely shot into the enemy SU tank destroyer. Should be able to get the finish here, hopefully before he gets around into cover, and we do, and we pick up our 2nd kill of the game, bringing us to 7,500 damage now with 2 kills, 2,000 assistance, and this 1 tank remaining. who is on 1,000 hit points. So at this point, I'm just going in for the shot. Even if he kills us, I don't really care, as long as I can get that one extra shot of damage in. I don't think he's going to be able to pull off the collies here, so just get this shot in, which we do. Week 1, he is going to finish us off and kill us here, but yeah, we've got pretty much as most out of it as we can. And we finished that game strongly with 8,000 damage, 2,000 assistance, and we do in fact get the win. So let's just get to the scoreboards and then we'll say our goodbyes. Yeah, so we do get the ace tank, as you say, 8,000 damage, 2,000 assistance. Yeah, so we get about 10k combined. Oh, so it wasn't the ace tank, it was a first class. But a good game nonetheless. So, thank you so much for your support, and as always, happy tanking.